Youth America's Cup. Here we go.
Let's do this.
One, you're clear. Okay, rounding up.
What an opportunity for the 12 young world-class teams.
It might be all smiles now, but they'll have their game face on come race one.
This is sick.
They pulled that off. I mean, a great confidence and fantastic execution. Make a name for yourself on the America's Cup stage, and the world is your oyster.
Maintain the kill.
Bring it on!
The best young sailing talent and the next generation of AC-75 sailors strut their stuff.
Vamos!
This fleet is a who's who in youth sailing.
Look how close this finish is.
Getting a little high. Turn on the jets.
Everybody okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
The America's Cup youth teams combine with the invited teams. It is going to be fascinating to see how that plays out.
One match race final would decide the UniCredit Youth America's Cup in true America's Cup style. Bon dias, this is Barcelona, which is host to the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, where the next generation of America's Cup sailors are discovered. We are witnessing some brilliant sailing in the regatta so far, and the skill level has raised the eyebrows of many an America's Cup veteran. Sailors from 12 nations are pitting their skills against each other in what might be considered a live audition for an AC-75 position in the near future. The best youth sailors in the world are here in Barcelona, and they are delivering. The prize is this, the UniCredit Youth America's Cup trophy. Not since 2017 have future AC-75 sailors had a chance to compete for this coveted title, and winning this would look good on any sailor's resume. Here's how the competition works. 12 teams divided into two groups of 6. Group A is made up of Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup teams. Group B, invited teams. In the qualification series, both groups will sail 8 fleet races. The top 3 point-scoring teams will then advance to a final series of 4 races with a fresh point start to decide the top 2 teams. Those two will then go head-to-head in a winner-takes-all single match race final September 26. Now, Group A have already sailed their first 4 races, and the standout team, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, sailing beautifully with helmsman Marco Gradoni and Gigi Ugolini. The defenders Athena Pathways Great Britain are well in the hunt, and remember, the top 3 in each group advance to the semi-finals. Good morning and welcome to Barcelona. Stephen McIver, double Olympic gold medalist Shirley Robertson in the house for this one. We can tell you we were expecting Group B, the invited teams, to race today. Sadly, Mother Nature is quite whimsical today, and all racing has been postponed. But that does not mean that we are going to bring you some magnificent memories of sailing so far. And boy, we've been treated already, haven't we, Shirley?
Yeah, they have impressed everybody. It has been stunning racing, and we were excited to watch the invitational teams, but they'll get their chance. They are the only show in town for the next 3 days, and we can't wait to see that. So definitely tune in to watch the best of young talent.
The one crazy thing briefly is that you can't pick where it's going to end at the end of the day, because in, out, breakage is the whole 9 yards, right?
There is a lot going on, but they are so talented and learning quick, and we're going to relish watching all of that action.
So much to look forward to here in Barcelona. You know, there are many teams out there, and let's talk about the Swiss, because it took more than 6 months of selection trials over 3 separate phases, culminating with a 10 sailing right here in Barcelona to determine this young Swiss team.
Yeah, it's really cool to come to this place every day. We have amazing infrastructure, and to be around the team, around the big team, it gives us extra motivation. When I was a little boy, I used to buy a Lingy t-shirt with my pocket money, and now to be able to wear it fills me with pride.
Yeah, so we discovered the boat at the beginning of the year, and we sailed on it quite a lot, and now we're also going into racing by doing a lot of simulator hours. We're getting more into details. We did also a lot of data analysis.
To prepare for the Youth America's Cup, I think for all of us youth sailors, it's a new world we're discovering. So we have to get a bit used to all the procedures and all the stuff that surrounds sailing. It's not only about sailing, but once we're on the water, it's as any other boat we ever done. It's about sailing, having hours, and getting experience.
The training is going pretty well so far. We had a good push now in spring and beginning of summer, and we're happy where we are.
Yeah, I expect amazing racing on these machines, the AC40s. I think it will be really close. All the teams are preparing now on the water. We see them ripping around. It will be quite spectacular to race with 6 boats on the start line.
Like I said, I think racing is going to be amazing. These boats are made for race. It's like a small karting. So the best will be most probably the stars or the tight situations. So yeah, I'm really looking for racing.
For sure, I expect to give my best and fight for a win. But on another hand, I also expect to shine my competences and my skills for the next America's Cup.
I think, as everyone wants, we want to win. So that's our main goal. But I think I'm feeling already pretty lucky to be in this team and to be able to live this adventure with everyone, so really happy about that.
I'm really looking forward for the first race, for the first crossing and being on the starting line. And I can already feel a bit the adrenaline that it will give me, and I love it.
My expectations for Youth America's Cup are to have an awesome event and really just looking forward that we can bring the best out of our team and have no regrets, and can say after the regatta that we gave it all.
Looking forward to compete in Barcelona.
The pride of Switzerland, and you know what, surely they very much have the DNA of the senior team, which we had to say goodbye to yesterday, of just eyes forward, never look in the rear vision mirror.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And they have been fully involved and embedded with the senior team. And Switzerland produces some great fast boat sailers. All of these, the 4 young guys, are really proficient in sailing fast boats. And you see a lot of that coming out of Switzerland.
And like all of the team's members that we've spoken to in this regatta of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, they just love sailing and they love these boats.
Who wouldn't? $3 million boat and, you know, sailing at 40, 50 knots. It is great fun and they're absolutely relishing the opportunity.
So just a reminder today, Group B, which was the invited teams, weather has not been kind and racing has been postponed for today, but we will have racing tomorrow. There's going to be a monster day of racing in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, and also today is the final semi-final day in the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals, and that is going to be an intriguing day. Can Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli bounce back from what happened yesterday out on the water? Another one of the AC teams in this UniCredit Youth America's Cup are the French. And you know what? The French selectors of this team were inundated with CVs to go through. But the chosen squad here want to make an impression and break into their senior America's Cup team.
Our team, the Youth Orient Express L'Oréal Racing Team, is a really talented team. We have so many junior world champion, European champion.
Any person in the team have a lot of qualities and a lot of capacity on this type of boats.
Behind me I got Theo Reville. He's a junior world champion in 29er. In the other helm on port we have Mathis Paco. He won last month his third world champion title in 470. Another great champion. And behind him we have Gauthier Tallieu. He's a multi-time European champion in match racing in 420. So yeah, all these guys are super focused, super hard worker. So yeah, I'm really proud to be the skipper of that team. We work super hard every day, and yeah, on the water it starts to pay off.
We talk a lot, we work a lot on the data, on the 2 helm talk a lot about the sensation, about the point of view. against the situation. We live in the same apartment, so it's easier to talk and to exchange on these topics.
I mean, the focus is the same since the beginning. Everybody there is super focused on our work, and the days are super long, but when you're sailing this type of boat, it's just amazing.
It's very powerful. 7 or 8 knots, we can fly if you want, so it's really impressive. 14 knots, you have the sensation the boat is very powerful. When you understand the boat, it's easy to anticipate the good move at the good moment. We know the boat and we know our capacity. If we are sharp, it will be good races.
For sure, during the first race, and the tension starts increasing, building. So yeah, happy to be there and can't wait to be on the starting line. Yeah, we spend a lot of hours on the sim, a lot of hours on the water, and at the end we just need to be focused on our skills, on what we need to do, and yeah, we'll be fine.
For me, it's a big chance to be here in this team. We have an amazing team in the youth team. We're excited to be the first day of the Youth America's Cup.
Super important for the previous generation. Myself, when I saw the Youth America's Cup in Bermuda, the second one, that was a big inspiration and a big motivation. It can be the first step to be part of the America's Cup.
The French UniCredit youth team, they are flying the tricolore for France after Orient Express Racing missed the cut to make the semi-finals in the Louis Vuitton Cup, and they are certainly a talented team. Surely we have been treated to see them in practice racing, and when they get going, they are strong.
Yeah, they're here to make a stand, and as we've seen, it is full of talent. Enzo Ballinger, the skipper, you know, he's a Moth legend. Some of them are from Olympic sailing, match racing. They got all the ingredients to really put on a great show here.
But the one thing for folks that are tuning in today, wherever they are around the world, French sailing has a magnificent history, doesn't it?
Well, French lead the way in ocean racing and in boat building and design and all of that. They haven't really pulled it together in the America's Cup arena, but it's only a matter of time, and especially when you see the talent that is coming up, it's exciting.
And when you talk about history, how about we talk about American magic? Sailing legends Terry Hutchinson, Kinley Fowler and Charlie Ogletree have assembled a versatile and skilled sailing team for this crew. Harry Melgers and Kyle Nevin, they'll be looking to lead this team to the front of the fleet.
The Youth America's Cup is extremely important to us. We see this as, a massive stepping stone in our careers.
It's kind of been a dream of mine to be a part of the America's Cup since I was a little kid and watching it on TV, and so it's a little bit surreal being here and a part of it.
I think our American Magic youth team, we're very confident, and I think we have quite a bit of experience compared to the other teams, so we certainly think that we can win and that we'll be on the top spot.
I think the Youth America's Cup is going to be extremely competitive. We can tell that the level is extremely high and everyone's pushing their hardest.
Sailing the AC40 in Barcelona can change quite a bit day to day. Some days it's nice and flat out there and it's like sailing on a cloud. But other days it can be pretty wavy and then it's like riding a fucking Bronco.
The closing speeds are, up there between, 50, 60 knots, and you got to be able to make quick decisions and be accurate with them.
You got to be really on top of your hydro settings and your aero settings to make sure the boat is stable and always flying, which is sometimes not so easy. In the Youth America's Cup, there's 2 pools. One pool will be 6 teams, the America's Cup teams, and the other pool is 6 private teams. Both of those pools will fleet race until they get the top 3. The top 3 from each of those pools will then go into a final fleet, and they'll fleet race until top 2 teams come out of that, and the top 2 teams will then match race for the championship. My primary job is to drive the boat, and also both helms on the port and starboard side are in charge of strategy and tactics for the boat. So there's quite a bit going on.
Harry's got a great instinct, racing instinct, and really understands all the aspects of it, and he has a bit more experience kind of on the bigger stage than I do.
I have definitely spent quite a bit of time in the boat so far, which has been super awesome. I'm really fortunate to have this opportunity to sail with American Magic. I do think it probably gives me a little bit of an advantage just with all the time I've had, and we've done a lot of racing, which has been awesome.
Finn Rowe is the trimmer on my side, sitting behind me, and so we sail together on a ton of different boats, and I think we have a great relationship, and we kind of understand each other's sailing styles a lot, so it really made sailing these boats easier knowing that he's behind me and having full trust in him.
Finn and myself have sailed with each other basically our whole lives. We did a 49er campaign together, so we work together really well, and he's also very talented.
Severin Graham is the trimmer on the starboard side, and he has a lot of time in the trimming on these boats. He's got a great knowledge of how these boats are sailed at the highest level because he was doing it with the Cup guys who are sailing 75 now, and so it's really nice for him to have all the kind of the AC40 specific knowledge and bringing that to the table so that we can make sure we're hitting all our targets.
For racing the AC40, teamwork is probably one of the most important aspects of sailing the boat well. Obviously, you're kind of split into two different teams, so you got the helm and trimmer on the starboard side and helm and trimmer on the port side, but they can't see each other, so the communication is super important, and being on the same page is critical for being successful.
So being able to gain the knowledge and skills sailing these boats and translate those to being a part of the Cup team is going to be hugely valuable. You see guys racing the boats now. We're doing Youth America's Cups, and the boats were similar then, but I don't think the youth boats have been quite as close as they have been now to the actual Cup boats. So I think there can be a big translation, and performing well here and performing well in the Cup.
Winning the Youth America's Cup would make me feel on top of the world. It's really something that I've been focusing on personally for the last 3 years and spending most every day working towards it. I think it'd be an incredible thing for the New York Yacht Club, young sailors in America all over the place, and also the team that's going to be racing in the America's Cup.
Harry Melgers has sailing in his DNA, being the grandson of the great Buddy Melgers, and you've actually been in a sim with him, and what's he like?
I think Harry Melgers has lived in the simulator for the last 3 years, and he took the afternoon to show me the ropes, which was great. He is the full package, and he's been adopted by Terry Hutchinson, who runs American Magic, and really mentored. He steered the TP52 in the pro circuit, and he's got that DNA. His granddad won the America's Cup, and he is fully focused on delivering for the US.
What grade did he give you in the simulator?
Definitely a D-.
Seriously, is it a challenge being in the sim, even at,
if you've not grown up with computer games, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but what a fantastic tool, and it has allowed the invited teams really to arrive in Barcelona pretty ready to go.
Open up a magnificent pathway, these sims for the AC40s. And now it's time to bring you some racing from Group A, which is the America's Cup teams. Let's take you back to Fleet Race number 1.
This is the race committee. We have passed the wind test, and this race is live.
That is the best news we have heard all day. We are going to get racing on the official first day of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, although the French appear to be in a little bit of bother getting up, and here's hoping our Express Lower Racing get going. The defender of this Youth America's Cup, Athena Pathways Great Britain, are below the start line and looking for a minute 45 go. They must have thought half an hour ago we're not going to be racing. Suddenly, game on. Boy, they're going to have to switch on quick.
You can never think that. You have to say absolutely locked on. All the teams up and flying.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have plenty on because the breeze has kicked in pretty reasonably well, and all teams on the big J1, so pretty much over range with these big sails. They wouldn't have had time to actually change from the big jibs, so all the teams potentially well and truly over range, which will be pretty exciting to get the boats around the track.
And massive waves, going to make any manoeuvring fully challenging.
Yeah, we are going to see plenty of action here coming up in the next few minutes, so it's very, very tricky to get the boats around. A lot of work for the trimmers and helmsmen on these AC40s.
Just remember, these are points-scoring races, 10 for a win. And this was the first of potentially 8 races. And man, we hope we get many of this racing in, because this is going to go off. Race 1 not too far away. Coming up to 30 seconds to start.
Italy tacked, final approach for the line.
Americans really early there on the line. I'll be having to duck down.
Great Britain on the right-hand corner.
It is on day 1, race 1 of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup.
Ok, boys, viaggi, solo cose facili. Forti scala sugli americani.
Well, the best start was the Italian, 7 meters back, flying in the middle of the line.
The Kiwis, penalty there, they had to wash off and had a little spin out there, so they'll be on the back foot early and having to chew their way back through the fleet here.
Marco Guidoni on Luna Rossa, accelerating well. He needs to get enough distance so he can tack at that boundary.
What's the best breeze here, mate? Just average. We have to get a route with the boundary. Just got the Americans coming around the transom. Two little headers coming on here. Press in here, mate. Big press, big press, big press. Okay, stand by for it.
So the Italians there having boundary protection. They'll need to get the tack in, surely, and then clear the starboard tacker coming in just to windward of them, but behind, which I think they'll do pretty comfortably.
Great Britain tacked, joined them.
The Italians in a really commanding position here. The British also, along with the Americans, the top 3 boats.
Great pace from the Italians and height. They're really loving that left-hand side of the track.
Let's go onto the track. Pete Lester and Chase Zero. What do you make at the start? What do you make of the conditions right now, Pete, and how they're going to handle it?
The easier board will be this one, heading out on port. Starboard is really problematic, but what we're seeing now, the boats down to leeward are in a big header, so that means the wind has gone to the right, but Italy have stayed in the left-hand breeze as they stretch their lead, so we've got sort of 2 breezes playing out as they come up to about halfway up the first wind would be.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli in a league of their own on this upwind leg. They are fast and they are high.
Yeah, they have definitely hooked into a big lefty or a breeze that's coming out of the left. They've had an absolute blinder.
So at the top mark for the first time in this UniCredit Youth America's Cup, it is Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. One of the favourites to win the whole thing around that top gate, and they certainly have gapped the fleet at this point in the race. Remember, that's leg 1 of 6 as they head downwind.
Lovely bear away from the Italians.
Following them in will be both American Magic and also Athena Pathways of Great Britain. French struggling at the back of the fleet at the moment.
Lie down. Angle and 2.
Here comes Emirates Team New Zealand, who had to wash off a penalty at the start, followed by Lingy Red Bull Racing. They will round the mark and head downwind. But look at the lead that Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli has on the fleet. 28 seconds at that gate to
This is the umpires, boundary penalty France.
So France
This is the umpires. France is disqualified outside the boundary more than 85 metres.
Wow. Straight up. Disqualified. No points for France in race one. They're gone from race one.
A massive blow for Orient Express. I think there's something not quite right with the boat. Huge disappointment. Now remember, the name of the game of this qualifying series is to be in the top three. It's not necessarily about winning races, but 3 of these boats will go into the next. Oh, massive touchdown by Luna Rossa.
Look how quickly they've recovered.
Really nice recovery there. That could have been a lot worse.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, lengthening the course to 1.1 nautical miles.
Ok, perfetto, it is. Ora andiamo anche sul gate col Vigals. No dritti. Ok, sono faccio boys.
Just having a look here at a little replay of what happened there, and just punching through the back of a wave there. A really good job at saving the boat.
Yeah, how well you recover, really important in conditions like this and in this competition. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli complete 2 legs of 6 in the opening day of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. Flying and throwing it around. In comes American Magic. They're being watched from shore and on screens large and small by their senior team who are in the game tomorrow, trailing 1-4 in their Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals. They get around 28 seconds behind. No change to the delta from the top mark.
That was an awesome mark rounding there by the US team, really ripping it round. Good gains.
Lingy Red Bull Racing currently in 3rd position. They get around the mark. It's a clean rounding. They go upwind for leg number 3.
Happy to go for. Okay,
they come firing in like arrows, don't they, into these marks. Next will be Emirates Team New Zealand and the defender of the Youth America's Cup, Athena Pathways, Great Britain. They've recovered pretty well from their penalty start, and they're up and racing and heading towards the top mark on leg 3.
Yeah, disaster of a leg for Great Britain. Rounded the top mark in 2nd. Had a touchdown during a manoeuvre.
Big person, man. Yeah. You set up to attack whenever you want. Yeah, just need the speed. Speed's coming in.
It is so wavy, Glenn. I mean, just give us an understanding how tricky it is in these quite small boats and these massive waves.
Yeah, huge job trimming the sails in these conditions, and obviously steering the boat tricky as well, but the boat really moving up and down vertically and sideways quite a bit, so big job for the trimmers there. You see how much those sails are moving. Let's have a little look at the British here. Shirley in a big foil vent there and a massive splashdown in that jibe. A huge stop there, really hitting the brakes hard in that manoeuvre, and they've lost a lot of ground.
They lost so much pace.
Okay, same with the Americans.
Looking at Luna Rossa, they look really locked in, and we had that lovely view of trimming of the mainsail, tiny adjustments, and really seem to have found a groove.
Let's go to chase 0, Peter Lester. What do you like about what the Italians are doing right now?
Just reminds me of when we were in Jeddah last year when Marco Gradoni really threw down a marker, and that was in the big game against all the America's Cup teams, and he's just picked up, you know, from where he was in Jeddah in similar sort of conditions with pretty solid breeze. All the boats are overpowered, but Marco Gradoni really showing the art of how you sail an AC40.
Fly it like you stole it.
Yeah, he's quite a talent, Marco Gradoni, but his 3 teammates were not with him in Jeddah. They are brand new and have really had to bond and get the best out of the AC40.
Gianluigi Ugolini there, and he's on port. You just see how much steering's going on board these little AC40s. They're right on the edge of grip, bouncing themselves over the top of the waves, doing a great job there with Rocco Falcone trimming.
Okay, good course.
So Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, they've led the feat from the start, and they will now complete the halfway mark of this opening race in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. They're doing it with style too, but why wouldn't you? You're Italian, you're all about style, but boy, they are flying this AC40 beautifully. And let's be blunt, it's gone from nothing to challenging conditions straight up.
Yeah, sailing the boats, particularly upwind with the big J1s as they do a big touchdown there on board Italy. They've still managed to keep the rig in the air though, and the foils in the water, pushing the boat hard, back up to 33 knots, 34 knots in quite big waves for these little boats, doing a great job.
American Magic going around the mark as well. Pete, you were right there with that touchdown.
Yeah, that was a hold your breath moment for the Italians, but good recovery. They didn't panic. The rudder didn't pop out of the water. I'm very impressed by the Americans. They're handling their boat expertly, and they've got quite a lot of leverage split as they go in downwind for the second time.
Slowly but surely, Emirates Team New Zealand have moved themselves up onto the leaderboard. They're now sitting in the 3rd position. They were 4th in the last leg. They have now picked up a position, and they will round that top mark in position 3. But they're a minute and 5 seconds behind Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. In comes Zillingi Red Bull Racing, followed by Athena Pathways, Great Britain. So they've got their game back on. So there's a long way to go. 3 legs completed by these teams, 3 still to go. Wow! That's what they're dealing with.
Really close battle here for 3rd position. As the Swiss go into a jibe there, so the manoeuvre's quite tricky, particularly in this seaway, but a really good battle here going on for that 3rd position.
It is so important. This fleet does not know how many races there would be. This could potentially be it. You want to ensure you are in the top 3.
Tell you what's impressive today from what we've seen with the practice races is how quickly they've adjusted to the sea state and got themselves out of trouble, particularly this team you're seeing on screen right now. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, you saw just before Mark Browning before they touched down, but they just got themselves out of trouble. It must be like riding a roller coaster right now, but Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli are handling it beautifully. Leg 4 of 6 completed as they whip their 40 around the bottom mark and head up.
These guys will have a grin on their face like a split watermelon. They'll be having a fantastic time. Just need to keep it together as the Americans come down to the bottom gate.
Keeping those 2 ball downs got to be important just for stability. That's the other thing too, I suppose, Glenn, the stability of these things in these conditions. You have to play somewhat safe.
Yeah, the object of the game is to get the boat round the track, and got to keep that rudder in the water, and really, really important to keep pushing the boat hard. Sometimes when you slow down, it actually makes it more difficult to get through the seaway. So keeping the foot on the gas and sailing the boat well, really, really important, like it is on any high-performance dinghy in these conditions.
And the battle for third and fourth goes on. Lingy Red Bull Racing not letting go of Emirates Team New Zealand. The difference is just the one, 2 points actually. You get 5 points for third and 3 for fourth. So those 2 points could be huge. And have Emirates Team New Zealand get around.
I need to get the main sheet on there. Emirates Team New Zealand, massive twist in the mainsail there. So boat getting pretty out of balance. The Swiss coming around behind them. Pushing hard here. The big battle on here for this third position. Emirates Team New Zealand having to keep sailing well.
There goes Athena Pathways, Great Britain around the bottom mark. Remember, we've already lost the French, disqualified for going well out of bounds. So it's a 5-boat race, and the French will pick up 0 points in the opening race of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. The fleet being led beautifully by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Kiwis go. Test space pass? Yeah, I think so. You got 20 seconds.
So there'll be another look at the mark rounding here from the Kiwis, and you just see how twisted that main is and how much above centre line the Traveller is in the main, just coming on there. So really out of balance there with the boat, making it really tricky to keep the boat under control, but they did a good job to get it rounding, not lose the rudder there. On a big touchdown there on the Italians. It's got to get the boat popped up again. Looks like they've really slowed down there for whatever reason. And back up and going there. So not sure whether the cant just went under a little further than they were hoping or what was going on there, but a big loss there compared to the Americans, but they're up and going again now.
It looks like it's getting harder and harder. We've had a slight increase in wind speed. We've now got 15, 16 knots.
Well over range now in these conditions with the J1 on board. So you'd normally be on a J3 now, so you'd actually be 2 jib codes down from where they are sailing at the moment. So
too much power.
Got too much power at the moment. Too much power at the front of the boat. You can see how twisted the jib is there. Everything absolutely maxed out. So all the teams really having to survive to get these boats around the track here at the moment. That's the Americans there struggling to keep the boat under control.
Well, the sea state's not helping anything at the moment as Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli have survived their wee touchdown, and they bolt to the top gate for the last time. But hang on, we're not done with yet. Both boards are down as they get around. Wow, watch the mark, lads.
Full safety bear away here.
And they're on the homeward leg. They're looking at that first 10 points in the opening race of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli on fire right now, followed in by American Magic, representing the New York Yacht Club.
Americans full gas here. Not backing off at all at the moment.
Nice and slow.
And going for the one board bear away, so hang on to your hats.
2, 1,
Shoulders back, keep the bow out.
okay.
And away you go. Nice job.
You happy if I take this?
So boats 1 and 2 have gone around the top gate. In comes Emirates Team New Zealand. They've got away on Lingy Red Bull Racing, who've dropped behind and changed position, because now fourth is Athena Pathways Great Britain. Emirates Team New Zealand will want a clean rounding of this mark.
One board, bear away for Emirates Team New Zealand. Nice smooth turn there, and I'll be happy to get round there in good shape.
In comes Athena Pathways Great Britain. Mind you, they are now being chased as Lingy Red Bull Racing have found a little bit of speed on that upwind leg. They'll go opposite marks and head on down for the final leg of the 6-legger. Whoa! Okay.
Yeah, they'll have to build speed here and get foiling before they turn the boat downwind here. The Lingy Red Bull Racing, so need to take off and not turn the boat down while they're slow there.
Okay, I thought that boundary here.
Last jibe there for the Italians, surely. They'll be wanting that finish line to come at them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, the toughest of conditions, but an absolute masterclass
Beautiful
by Marco
job.
Gradone and his team.
Beautiful job, for sure, from the Italians.
In the opening race of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, Marco Gradone and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli have done a job on the fleet. It's
This
start
is the
to
umpires, boundary
finish
penalty Switzerland.
for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, and the maximum 10 points they get. Yes, it was a magnificent start for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. You heard 10 points. That's right, it's a point-scoring regatta because you've got to be in the top 3 in each group if you want to go through to the semi-finals, which is a 4 fleet race. So it's 10 for first, 7 for second, 5 for third, 3 for fourth, 2nd for 5th, and 1 for 6th. And if you don't start or DSQ, you get 0 points. But the standout from even that first race, Shirley, the way Luna Rossa handled their boat in the conditions.
We didn't really know what the level would be, you know, how high the standard, and it is off the scale. Watching this Italian team, it was an absolute joy. You know, they had a few nosedives. It was really extremely wavy, but always managed to recover. They really did well at, you know, limiting the damage, and that is a credit to his trim team of Volcone and Colanino. Really impressive.
The nice thing in any sport is always welcoming some teams back that you haven't seen for a while, and it has been that since Canada has been involved in the America's Cup. But the squad aboard Concord Pacific Racing is hoping to pave the way for the next generation.
We are super excited to be here. It's been a long time coming and a lot of training's gone into this, and yeah, we just can't wait to get going. It always means a lot to have a Canadian team part of this, and to be part of the America's Cup again in this form is really cool for us.
It's awesome to be able to represent Canada, one of the biggest stages in sport and sailing. Can't really put it into words. Just such a great opportunity for all of us, so we're super excited.
Been putting super long hours in the sim just in an effort to utilize what we've got as best we can, and it's been incredibly helpful. You know, our first time stepping on the boat was quite a seamless transition because of the long hours that we put in the sim, and you know, things just like having the right instincts and the right muscle memory for when you get on the boat was super helpful. It was quite a smooth transition.
I have Andrew Wood driving for me, and I've known him for a very long time. When I first started sailing 49er, the first regatta I went to out of Nova Scotia where I live, he was there, and we've sailed together a few times, but I think the fact that we knew each other for so long before has really helped, and we have a great relationship now, and we're really good.
We feel very confident with each other, and we can sort of predict what the other's going to do. Then on the other side, we've got Andre Van Dam trimming and Galen Richardson driving. I'm really excited with the team we've got together. Developing our communication has been one of the most important parts about learning how to sail this boat. I think one thing that we did have going for us was that a lot of us had sailed boats where we had needed to use very effective communication, even in Olympic classes and things like that. So it was more of a tweak of how you're using your communication.
My wheel coming up, not too close.
I think starting is one of the things that is probably going to be the most different from the sim to on the water. So it's something that we just need to have a really clear plan for. Your port helm is really setting you up for that start, but at the end of the day, it really is a team effort, because as much as they're driving the boat and, you know, keeping you fast and keeping you out of the way of others, which is quite a big job, we have on the other side have our tactical screen that we're looking at, and we're judging our time to the line and our time to tack. So it's really, you know, all hands on deck during the start. In our pool initially, I think the clear team that's going to have the big leg up is going to be the Swedes. You know, they've had their 40 out here, they've been training, they've been doing practice starts with all the cup teams. So I think at this point, people that have had a lot of time on the boat are going to be the threats.
All right, I'd like to go through the finish if we can.
One of our biggest goals in this is to obviously do as well as we can, but also, you know, inspire the youth of Canada to get out, get foiling, and get into it. It's a very, very exciting time, and I really hope that this continues for Canada.
Yes, Andrew Wood from Concord Pacific Racing, as we remind you that Group B racing today in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup has been called off because Mother Nature is not playing ball, but there will be racing tomorrow. And of course, later on today, potentially the last two races in the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-final between Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and American Magic at 4-3. You know the great thing about the AC40s though, Shirley, as we see with Concord Pacific Racing, introducing new nations, new teams to coming back to plan the big show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just need to light the spark, perhaps, in a new nation and just kind of get it going, and that is so exciting. And it's great that we have the invited teams. The simulator has really allowed that. I mean, they are nearly ready to go, and it will be who can learn the quickest when they actually get in the boat. Excited to see that.
It's always good to be the home team, isn't it? There's always a bit of an advantage, but it also comes with its own pressure. But support brings high expectations. Sail Team Barcelona are determined to make Barcelona proud.
As a Spanish sailor, seeing the cup coming to Spain and so to beautiful Barcelona, it's an honor.
It's really, really exciting, and yeah, we will try to do our best and make everyone proud in Spain.
It's looking like the Youth America's Cup is going to be a really competitive competition. All the youth team are preparing themselves as good as they can.
We have been preparing the simulator. That is the most useful tool that we can have, that you can really compare numbers and settings and things with the real boat. So we have put many, many hours in the simulator. We have always become gamers. Yeah, just trying the communication settings and just different things to try to figure out how the actual boat works without breaking everything in the water.
The AC40 boat, it's because you are inside the cockpit and the wind doesn't hit you a lot, but it's just amazing how you can press a button and get the boat faster and faster or higher on the water. So just adrenaline and being on the limit from capsize or just going fast and ripping.
We are lucky that we had some days of training on the AC40. It's really different because you are with all the headset, inside the cockpit and just with no ropes or with buttons and controls. So it's really different, but it was such a good experience, and yeah, it was unbelievable to be in one of these boats that you normally sit so far away, and actually being there, you feel really lucky. Martin Wisner is my helm. We are on the starboard side of the boat. I've sailed with him since I'm a kid. We are really good friends. For sure, he's really, really talented. One of the biggest talents I've seen. He has demonstrated along his short sailing career the results that he has, and that he's really talented and has a great future ahead.
Jaime Fram is the starboard trimmer, so it's going behind me. He's trying to teach me how to steer the boat. He's a really talented guy. We've sailed together for Teams Optimus and for 20 together, fighting together. So a really good friend from us, really good opportunity to sail together and enjoying the process with him.
Antonio Torrado is the port trimmer, so I work a lot with him to try to find new settings and the most optimal thing for the boat. He's really also curious and really hard worker, and he can be really intense and work at a really high rhythm for a long time. He just doesn't want to rest. He keeps working and working and working. Sometimes we have to stop him, but yeah, that's probably his biggest strength, I think.
Konrad Konitzer is the port helm, and he's a really good friend of mine. He sailed the 49er against me, and now we're teammates and really good friends and keeping each other really good. So he's a really talented sailor. He knows the rules really well, and he loves just trying to beat the other boat, so perfect combination.
For the Spanish team and for us personally, to do well in Spain, the America's Cup in Spain, that
it's probably once in a lifetime. I think we are clearly the underdogs, and we don't have all the knowledge that the big teams have, but we are gonna go for it and to do well. If we do well, everyone is gonna notice because we are gonna go full on, and it will be really, really exciting.
It's gonna be a really big moment for us as a team. Being here in Spain with all our family watching the racing, it's going to be a spectacular moment, and trying to do our best and maybe qualify for the next semi-finals or doing a great job or maybe a good race is going to be an epic moment, and just enjoying the process with all the guys. We always dream too of being in the America's Cup, so this is a step forward of achieving our goal in the future. Really excited to be competing in these amazing boats and also in our country, in Spain, and beautiful Barcelona here.
Sail Team Barcelona representing a proud maritime nation. Discussions with Shirley moments ago. She just reminded me, of course, there's a rather large statue of Christopher Columbus that hangs over Port Vale here. So there's a little bit of pressure, but I can imagine too at this level, a lot of excitement.
Yeah, Spain has produced some amazing sailors, and it's great to see them in the Cup. And they are famous in Barcelona. Every lamppost, there is a picture of either their women's team or their youth team all over the city. It is great, and actually, it's a team full of talent. They are Olympic skiff sailers, youth champions, foiling moth sailers. So a huge amount of expectation on this young Spanish team.
I think the magnificent thing about this UniCredit AC, this UniCredit Youth America's Cup, is the fact that it's putting people, some people might not even know existed, on the map and giving them a shop window. And we're going to see this tomorrow in Group B because they are part of the invited group. No racing for that group today. It will be tomorrow. And speaking of sailing nations, the Australia 2 era in sailing history will always be remembered down under. But now the rising talents aboard Andu Team Australia are aiming to ignite a new chapter with their performance here in Barcelona.
The Youth America's Cup is definitely the biggest regatta any of us youth sailors have been a part of.
It's a really big thing for our country to bring Australia back to the America's Cup. While we've been out of the Cup since the early 2000s, this is the start of something new for Australia. I think it's going to be really competitive, probably one of the most competitive youth cups we've had before. The racing, due to the nature of these boats, if you've got the boat handling, I think the racing is going to be very close.
There's been some big names come through the ranks in this competition, and it's something that it just inspires us so much to know that it's possible to make that leap into the larger America's Cup, and our role models that we've been watching have been through the same pathway. So it's something that really motivates us as a team, and it just drives us to work even harder.
It's a big thing being able to represent your own country. Australians have suffered over the last few years having to represent other countries on the America's Cup stage.
This campaign is all about building a pathway. So between us youth sailors and our female sailors, we just want to bring that momentum, and to be the people who could lift that cup and start something for Australia again would just be so special.
Strengths of the Aussie youth team, we've got a fairly diverse team. Everyone comes from different backgrounds. We've got match racing, we've got fast boats, we've got slow boats, we've got Olympic pathways, and bringing everyone together in a unique fashion. We know we're the underdogs, and so collaborating and coming together has been our biggest strength. I'm a trimmer on board the AC40. We're responsible for the speed and the safe handling of the yacht. I'm sat behind Cole Tapper in the boat. He's our port driver. He's our resident match racer in the team, I guess. He's had a lot of success on the match racing world tour, and he brings the rules knowledge, the close racing, the tactics and the strategy to our team.
Well, the team will tell you that I'm not a fast boat expert. I'm a slow boat sailor, but they've quickly brought me up to speed on that, and that's something I find strength in on the other side of the yacht with Jack Ferguson. He's done a lot of moth sailing and 49er sailing, and he brings the speed, and sometimes it can be scary, but now we've built that trust, and you just got to let him go. You know, he's a pretty aggressive sailor.
We've got Max Paul, starboard trimmer, sitting behind Jack. He brings a lot of confidence to our team. He's a successful 49er sailor. He's done campaigns with previous Olympic medalists, so he's got a lot of experience racing at the top of the fleet.
You could
Tom Needham is nothing if not meticulous. He is so detail oriented, and he's really stepped up the level of the team in terms of our accuracy.
6 minutes. We got one more lap. That lap took just under 4 minutes.
Having someone like that on board with just such a great understanding of the boat and the fine details has really lifted our performance, I think. To race in the AC40 is something that we're learning as we go. As a team, admittedly, we've had less time in the boats training, but we feel that we've still developed a really good understanding of how all the systems work using the Team New Zealand simulator.
And as our team, that's our best training tool to practice sailing these AC40s. We don't have the fortunate position to be able to own one of these boats, and so sailing the simulator, putting hours in every day, every week, has been our best way to move forwards. The AC40, it's a bit of a beast. It's unlike anything I think any of us have ever sailed before. It's a really cool, high-performance, technical boat. But in saying that, the one design racing aspect means that it's going to be close racing, close finishes. Everyone will be tacking right next to each other. It's going to be awesome action.
As a team, our strength is our diversity. We've got really different mindsets across the boat that have meshed really well over the past year. It took a little bit of time to dial in just because of how we process information, and now that we've found that balance, we know how to get the best out of each other, and it's something that we're really looking forward to bringing onto the stage.
All of us in this team know how much of a big event this is for each of us individually as well as a team. For me personally, it would be probably the biggest moment of my youth sailing career. I'm really looking forward to the event, and I hope we can make it something special.
There is an enormous talent pool in Australian sailing, and many people are saying around the race villages and the regatta itself, Australia are the missing ingredient in the big show, the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. But, well, they are chock full of talent.
Yeah, they have a lot of sailors to look up to in the America's Cup world. You know, the sports, the MVP, Tom Slingsby leading the charge with American Magic. Jimmy Spittle here for his 8th Cup. They want a bit of that action, and they might not have their own team, but they are ready to showcase what they've got. And as Cole Tapper said himself, this is a really interesting team. It's full of diversity. They even have a guy who did his thesis on the performance of supercavitating foils. There's a lot of knowledge in this team and a lot of drive to really showcase that.
That team member will want to talk to Peter Lester. He loves supercavitating foils. Well, I never hear the end of it. Supercavitating foils, supercavitating foils. So no racing in Group B today here off the coast of Barcelona. So let's take you back to fleet race number 2. Group A, the America's Cup teams.
This is the race committee. The wind sampling is complete, and this race is live.
So those boats that are
Race committee from Switzerland, we still have technicians on board.
All they want to know. Heard from the Swiss saying they've still got technicians on board. Well, they've used up their 5-minute delay card, so it could be thanks for coming. It'll be race on, and you aren't racing.
Switzerland, you are instructed to not sail this race, and you will be awarded points as per the sailing instructions.
Okay, similar instructions to what Orient Express L'Oreal Racing were given, so they will pick, as Shirley quite rightly said, 4 points confirmed. Shirley, the Orient Express Racing were advised not to race, so they got 4 points from that.
2 boats have already entered. We got that one you can see will be last.
It looks like it'll be 4 points for the Swiss team as well, so it will be a 4-boat race with about 1 minute and 15 to go, so stand by for some great action here with the 4 boats pushing hard for maximum points.
Tell you what, I was the 4th place boat, so I'd be a bit aggrieved because I only get 3. But anyway, here we go, up and racing, 1 minute to go in race 2 of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, a 4-boat race. Can Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli show the way again? We're about to find out.
Vanno dentro gli americani. One board up, Fede. Da dentro hanno board up. Hanno ancora da bruciare, sereni.
Still plenty of time to kill there for the Italians. They'll be needing to just pump the brakes a little. Slow down, British there. Attacking shortly as well, so fantastic conditions here in Barcelona.
British off the foils, costly.
They'll have to do a quick rebuild there. The Americans and the Italians, Kiwis pulling the trigger. They'll be the top 3 boats off the line.
It's like a big bias on this line.
Time to go racing again. Race 2, Group A, UniCredit Youth America's Cup.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli had the best start, just 2 meters back. But look at the acceleration of Emirates Team New Zealand.
They got fired out of the cannon pretty nicely there, being able to wind up with good overspeed and have converted nicely. Possibly a little right-hand shift as well there for the Kiwis. Next cross, pretty critical for these top 3 boats.
Nice defending by the Kiwis.
Big lads in there in 2. There it is. Nicely managed. Good flattening off her.
Tiny looking jibs.
Compared to the J1s, a huge reduction in sail area there.
I'll get the runners out there. Yeah, all good. BMT high, if anything. Big wave here. On clearance, guys, a little press.
Just to put it into context, they've gone from 36 square metre jibs down to 23 square metre jibs, so huge reduction in area. Really close racing here between the Americans and the Italians. The Italians having to survive, thread the eye of the needle here. The Kiwis sailing up round their bow.
Great pace by the Kiwis. Used it well to move forward.
Fantastic shots as the boats come up to the top here. The Italians doing a really nice job there to thread the eye of the needle and actually sail up around the bow. Oh, a big touchdown. That'll wash off some pace.
Yeah, Emirates Team New Zealand, great height, didn't they? And the Italians were struggling to live there, really paid for it.
Italians just going to have to hold and follow the Kiwis in here. Breezier conditions, less dirty air than in the lighter conditions, so Italians will be tacking there. Oh, another big splash down there off the top of that swell, but they'll build quickly.
Emirates Team New Zealand lead the 4-boat fleet in race 2 at the top gates for the first time. Chased by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. If you want a battle and someone to chase you, just wait to see it unfold with the Italians chasing you the way they raced in that first race. So they are around, followed quickly by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. A couple of touchdowns on that upwind beat, just knocking speed off them, but they are back and flying, and they will be the hunter.
43 knots of boat speed, 44 now for the Italians as they get the slingshot. Beautiful bear away there, full speed, absolutely pushing hard.
Come on, 1 ton under, 5 seconds here.
Struggling with American magic, aren't they, to find form?
Nice and easy, all the way down.
Get out of whack with their sail balance there.
Just Americans below us, loose.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shifting the axis to 105 and lengthening to 1.2 nautical miles.
Let's go back to the front of the fleet because there is a battle raging between Emirates Team New Zealand.
Oh, and a big touchdown.
Down.
Big touchdown there on the Kiwi boat.
Has that opened the gate for Luna Rossa?
Really stalled on both sails there on the Kiwi boat. They're going to have to ease everything to get hooked up again there. Well over trimmed.
It's going to chase zero. Peter, what do you make of all this?
Well, the sea state's playing havoc with all the boats on the downwind. It's really, really tricky. And you've got a lead change there with the Italians sailing around the bow in New Zealand, but it's all about good old seamanship on leg 2.
Oh, the Italians having some loose moments out at the exit out of that jibe. So, oh, and a big stuff there by the Kiwis. Nearly disaster there over the handlebars. Big job here to get the boat re-accelerated. That was a big moment. And they are getting mown down by the British and the Americans there. So they've got a big job to get up and going. The Italians holding it on the rev limiter as they head down to the bottom of the course here. Mid-30s in big sea state. So big job here for the Kiwis to dig their way back into this now.
Pivotal moment in race 2 of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. They were holding the lead. Big stuff, as you heard it. And it's Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli once again for the 2nd consecutive race, leading the way. Not perfect so far, but they hold the lead. Look at that sea state. And they touch down again as well. They'll get through that gate first, but chasing behind them, Harry Melgers and American Magic. Up and going again. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Oh, big drift there. That's absolutely backing it in to that bottom mark. Really, really loose moment for the Italians and the Americans now. Oh, they've got plenty on as well. Oh, what's the rudder? Just got it in control there. American Magic. And some sweaty action going on there. Oh, the Kiwis back in the game, Stephen.
Crazy as it is, Emirates Team New Zealand back, and everybody struggling around that top mark. Well, not so Emirates Team New Zealand. In comes Athena Pathways, Great Britain. 2 boards down, playing it safe. Game on, and we've only completed 2 legs.
It is loose at times. It is so hard in these waves. The Kiwis are down again.
Oh, they're back down, the Kiwis coming off the foils. Just pushing the ride height, possibly a little too high there, Emirates Team New Zealand. Oh, and then another big splashdown for the Italians, so boats absolutely ripping up wind, just blasting out of the waves, getting airborne, and the Americans take a big chunk of distance out of the Italians there. British now having to tack off the boundary.
You're coming down here, mate, by the wheel? Yep. Yep. The tackle will leave out, coming through them? Yep. Process that. One order. I've got it.
I suppose you could ask the question at this point, how much bashing can these 40s take in these conditions?
The AC40s, they only weigh about 2,000 kilograms, but they are beautifully engineered boats and can absolutely take a hammering. And what we're seeing now is how hard they can be pushed in a seaway. So watching the foils actually pierce the surface of the water there and punch out of those quite big waves now that are coming in with this new breeze. So all teams right on the edge and having to thread the eye of the needle with their ride height control.
The flight on these boats are automated. I mean, how can it cope when the sea's like this? How is that going to work?
Yeah, if you're the IMU or the ride height sensor at the moment, you'll be flat out like a lizard drinking, computing all those signals coming in. And the Italians and the Americans here are really, really close race at the front of the fleet. So it'll be really interesting to see how this top half of the beat works out for both teams pushing hard.
Potentially going for a lead change, and then we get a... No, we don't. Yes, we do. Yes, we get a lead change. American Magic hit the front in race 2 of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup on the 2nd upwind leg 3 of 6 here in Barcelona. With a sea state that's playing havoc, but gee, it's creating some exciting racing.
30 knots upwind here, so 70 kilometres an hour, 80 kilometres an hour of wind over your face here for the teams.
American Magic have pressed the boost button. Great pace.
Give way boat, the Italians here having to make a decision.
Can't please.
They got out of there quickly.
The Italian team having to survive there. The Americans absolutely put to the floor here.
Just talk to us. Yeah, crossing.
Great battle.
Let's look at the diamonds, Harry, if you can. Copy. You got a lane
Steering
separation.
rather well. Harry Melges, starboard helm.
Okay, we're almost clear ahead. We're clear ahead there. Swan and then your wheel.
Severin Graham controlling the aero package there aboard the American boat. So these next bearaways
One tailends, I think, are one and then.
would be quite exciting.
So this time it's American Magic leading in race 2 at the top gate to complete the halfway mark of this second race of the day. We waited a long time for it, but we are so enjoying what we are seeing. They are having to handle these boats, manhandle them, because they are being tossed about, but at the same time being beautifully sailed. And Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli run head over down for leg number 4.
Shirley, this is where you love being a yachty on a high-performance boat. Absolutely sending it, driving it like you stole it, as we've heard plenty of times before. Absolutely on the stopper. Fantastic yachting.
Athena Pathways, Great Britain coming around. Oh, they're struggling with those conditions, and they're getting to that top gate. They'll round the mark and then head downwind on the 4th leg as they go around. What's going on with New Zealand? Peter Lester on chase 0.
Looks like they've broken something. They're still coming upwind off the foils, so they're looking just to, I guess, try and get points. But yeah, New Zealand look wounded. But looking at the boats going downwind, they are really on the edge as GBR just do a great big stuff over to our right-hand side. Big black cloud coming. That normally means more wind to come.
We've already got more wind, and we're seeing that boat's really struggling now. We have gusts of 18 knots at the top of the track.
The Americans, 40 knots of boat speed here. Absolutely pushing it here, but just having to survive and get the boats around the course nicely.
This is the race committee. We are shortening the course to 4 legs. Finish at the leeward gate.
Well, we are on the 4th leg, so this is the last leg. They too realise, race management, that the conditions are getting way above the limit that these boats should be in, and so it's American Magic. Can they get it across the finish line and get their first win in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup?
Just got to get it wound up here. The Americans have got the Italians pulling off a nice jibe there, so big push here for American Magic.
Let's round here just in case this is your right turn.
In conditions that have challenged the teams, in race 2, American Magic get the win and 10 points. Sailing beautifully. Job well done. And steaming in behind them.
I believe that's the finish.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. How these young sailors have handled these 40s has been a joy to watch, but man,
confirmed.
I can imagine they feel like they've done a workout like the Rock, because they have really thrown these boats around at the sea stage, thrown them around. Second place, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Finished with a flourish. You've just been watching race 2, the fleet race in Group A of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup here in Barcelona. We have no racing in Group B today. It is a beautiful city to wander around, and the weather is magnificent, but the weather is not good enough today for the AC40s in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. But we are looking forward to the last potential 2 races in the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals between Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and American Magic, who've come from nowhere to be 1 race away to leveling that series. Wandering around Barcelona, it's just a treat. There's history everywhere.
It's a great city, and really they have embraced also the Mediterranean. It's fantastic. I mean, massive long beach volleyball everywhere. Even in the middle of the night they're playing. It is so cool. If you're into the beach and sailing and hanging out, it's a fantastic place.
It staggers me riding to work every morning, and at 7:30 in the morning the nets are up and people are just going for it in beach volleyball. But that is Barcelona. It is a treat that you should really try and experience if you get that opportunity. Let's talk about succession planning. When Peter Burling won the Youth America's Cup, Emirates Team New Zealand wasted no time bringing him into the senior ranks. Now, Josh Jr. has handpicked this youth squad from 121 applicants, and you can bet they'll seize every opportunity that comes their way.
The Youth AC has just been a huge opportunity to up the level from sailing around by yourself on a moth or a wingboard to get into a bigger boat and sail with a team.
We're used to sailing at high speeds, and so that's what the Youth America's Cup is going to be all about.
My name's Oscar Gunn, and I am one of the trimmers for the Youth AC team with Emirates Team New Zealand.
I'm Leo Takahashi, and I'm one of the helmsmen.
I'm Viela Ten Harper.
Hey, I'm Seb Menzies. We've got an awesome team, I think. Lots of different backgrounds as well.
P-class, Starling, 29er, Optimist, you name it.
So I got into foiling the Wasp.
My background is wind foiling and windsurfing at the Olympic level in women's IQ foil windsurfing. So the first boat I've sailed is the AC40.
Obviously it's quite different to normal sailing.
It's definitely a different feeling from the sailing I've done before.
Sailing these AC40s, you're one of the only people in the world that have done it.
Yeah, so the AC40, it's not so much about strength or power or body to weight ratio. There's no advantage to being a man or a woman on the boat.
It's becoming like Formula One, where you're in your cockpit and we have access to all the controls at your fingertips. It's definitely the fastest I've been, and it's been super exciting.
Like my brain at the end of the day, every day, is like, whoa, overload.
I've never sailed a boat where there's a whole team that gets it ready for you to go sailing. So that's been pretty special. Growing up as a kid in New Zealand and getting to see the Cup, you just want to be part of Team New Zealand.
To be representing Team New Zealand is something I honestly never dreamed of, because I didn't even think it was possible.
What's excited me is just the team environment.
The team's kind of been thrown together and had to learn how to communicate and how to get along and really get to know each other better.
Everyone's working super hard to do the best, and you kind of got to step up to that level and give it your all.
Being the only girl in the youth team, I find quite hard at times. Girls talk a lot more, there's a lot more going on, and guys are just kind of laid back and real calm, which I do like.
Racing the AC40 is going to be really intense. There's going to be boats falling off the foils. It's going to be really important to make those crucial manoeuvres.
You've got to get the confidence levels up in training and kind of get a handle on how it's going to react. You've got to push and got to be aggressive in the racing, so you kind of take it to the other teams, otherwise you'll end up out the back real quick.
I think it could be a really big chance to make a name for yourself.
If you get noticed in the Youth America's Cup, it's definitely a pathway, and you've seen it in the past before with Pete and Blair. They've all performed in that and now have stepped into the bigger team.
The opportunity for me, I think, is really good, showing other girls that there is an opportunity there for women to compete.
The opportunity's been amazing, and just really want to push the boat hard and do Team New Zealand proud.
It's what any young sailor wants to do, is represent their nation proudly, but if you're part of the defender of the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup, the pressure is just ramped up slightly more, Shirley.
Yeah, huge expectation from the defenders team. I mean, there's no room for ordinary at Emirates Team New Zealand, but it has, I mean, they talked about opportunity in the video, and it really has been to be inside, to be embedded with the best in the game. I mean, that is, whatever they do, whether they go into the America's Cup or not, to get a glimpse into that work ethic and that attention to detail is mind-blowing.
And just briefly, for all the Cup teams, getting their succession planning right is critical, and this is the first step.
Yeah, and they also talked in the video about Pete Burling. Pete Burling and his boys won this event a decade ago, and look where they are now. You have to start planning if you want to keep your team going.
So we've talked about the defender, but how about the official challenger of record? Getting the call to join an America's Cup team is a huge honour, especially when it's backed by some of the most successful Olympians. But joining the reigning champions, well, that's a new level of expectation. So no pressure then for this young British team.
It's a complete honour to be part of this programme, a programme led by two of the most amazing Olympians ever, Ben Ainslie and Hannah Mills, and to just be part of the team is incredible. It's been quite a long build-up, and we're just so pleased to be here and really excited to hit the water and hit the ground running and hopefully defend our title.
It'll have a new name on it. It is a British win in Bermuda.
Yeah, so Great Britain is currently the defender of the Youth America's Cup, and to be here and have the opportunity to defend that feels all the more special.
So last summer, we've all been on the simulator. We started with the single kind of player simulator, and then we went on to the full cockpit layout, four-person simulator. So we've been doing that ever since kind of the start of this year. Is that the luck there? It's something that's quite new to all of us. We're not really gamers. I think more for the muscle memory and just knowing where all the buttons are and things, and just being a bit more familiar when we get into the yacht.
The AC40 is an incredible class.
To sail is absolutely unbelievable.
It's like nothing that we've ever seen before as sailors. Honestly, it's like a go-kart. It just takes off and flies.
Get flying and foiling, it's everything goes quiet, and you lose the spray. It's quite wet initially, but yeah, it's an unbelievable feeling. It's really cool.
Communication is everything on the water. You've got four people and you don't see the people on the other side of the yacht, so the ability to calmly talk to them and describe what's happening or assist with sail changes and foil changes is so important.
I think the Youth America's Cup is going to be extremely competitive. A lot of my friends from all the junior and youth classes are competing as well, so I think that's going to be wicked to be racing against them, and also on the scale, with all the production and the spectators and everything. It's going to be amazing.
We've got a lot of depth of talent in our team, and everybody's had different experiences and different knowledge, so the ability to combine that and the openness to share amongst this team is really something special.
To win the Youth America's Cup for Great Britain would be absolutely amazing. It'd be, insane. It was amazing to see them win in Bermuda, to carry on that legacy would be insane. Just for the younger guys coming through, looking at this as a pathway, I think for them to see us win, they would believe that they could do it as well.
Athena Pathways, Great Britain, part of the official Challenger of Record, but their program is quite a different program, isn't it, Shirley?
Well, we heard the sailors talk about opportunity, but the Athena Pathway project is bigger than that. It is a roadshow back in the UK, bringing STEM to schools, science, technology, engineering and maths, and really showcasing what's involved in AC40s and in the America's Cup. And it's exciting, isn't it? When you see it put all together in a machine like the AC40, it is inspiring. So, yeah, they're looking big picture and long term, and that's exciting.
Just all part of growing what we love, and that is the America's Cup and this UniCredit Youth America's Cup racing tomorrow in Group B. Now, we've already seen races featuring the Italians, and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli put a lot of faith in Marco Grodoni by giving him the helm of their AC40 in the final preliminary series. And my word, we were there. He delivered in style. The 3-time Optimus World Champ will need to galvanise this talented squad for success here in Barcelona.
Pete, we've got a match race here, haven't we? Close cross coming up, Shirley.
This is going to go right to the end. He might be 19 years old, but he is completely unfazed.
Yeah, having the possibility to sail in Jeddah was amazing because we went into the final and we were racing at our best. Unfortunately, we didn't have a good start. And I'm still thinking that if we had a good start, it would have been another end of the story. But I mean, they were fast, we were fast, and we were enjoying it all. AC40 is a one design boat, so it's the same for everybody. And what makes us working really hard is that we can't do anything on the boat. We just have to prepare ourselves, our skill, our way to sail the boat, our coordination.
Boats nowadays are, super special. There's not many places where you can sail these boats, and especially to have a chance for the youth and the women to step on board and for the teams to see what skills we can bring. Yeah, I think we're also super lucky because I think it's one of the first cups where the youth team is really kind of involved with the cup team. And I guess this is the highest level. But being here at the base, being able to talk to Jimmy and any of the coaches, Jacopo and those guys, you always take a little bit of knowledge from them.
I've sailed hundreds of days with them in these 3 years. And I also had the opportunity to sail the 75 for a lot. Every day you're on the water, you learn something. And learning from probably some of the best of the world is just really helpful for a young guy like me. But now I am having my theories and my way to do the things. I really thank all the experience they give, and now I want to do my best.
It's definitely not the first America's Cup I followed. I've been kind of following along with my brother Shannon, who's been amongst many teams for about 5-6 America's Cups now. So the talent in Italy is really high. And yeah, I just hope in the future there's going to be more opportunities for all Italian sailors to get this opportunity.
I think all the guys know perfectly how to sail the boat, so I feel comfortable on this. And I think we're really having a lot of fun together, and I hope this is going to be our weapon for the races. Keep having fun and enjoying the process.
I think we're in a good position to do well. We have the resources, we have the team, the coaches. So I think it's all about putting it together on race day and executing.
The youth team from Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli will certainly be supporting their senior team after Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli in their semi-final against American Magic had a major gear breakage, and you can imagine what it's like in the shed at the moment getting that ready for racing today. Surely it's a big day for them.
There's always drama, isn't there, in the America's Cup? I mean, they were 4 and zip.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for days for them to seal the deal, and then yesterday, massive gear issue, a huge bang. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. They could have lost the rig. So I expect there's been an army of people in the shed working overnight to make sure that they rock up today in great shape.
Yeah, when you're down, when you're up by 4, and then suddenly your opposition are 1 race behind from potentially leveling and taking to a decider. It is all go, but it's just part of the America's Cup story. So, time to bring you some racing again. This time we'll take you to Group A racing, which has been done. This is fleet race number 3 for the America's Cup teams. So we are good to race on day number 2 of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. This is Group A, the America's Cup teams. There you can see right in the middle the defenders, Athena Pathways, Great Britain. Now we do understand, and we have said that Orient Express L'Oreal Racing have been instructed not to race. American Magic pulled their 5-minute delay card, and we're just waiting to see them get up and going with 2 minutes and 26 seconds to go to the start. Otherwise, we're down to a 4-boat race. There's Emirates Team New Zealand. Looks good out there.
Yeah, it looks pretty exciting. We've had spikes of 16 knots and lulls of 9, so it is going to be tricky, to say the least.
We've got 15 left here.
So 4 boats out there. Still no sign of American Magic.
It's coming back right now. Can we race?
So they're stuck at the top of the course, and there's a suggestion that they may not make the start. That's a real blow, but this is what it's about. These are points races that can change day in, day out.
4 teams locked on to getting a good start.
I think we're just going to play our own race and get a clear start.
Great conditions out on the water at the moment. And these 4 teams will be absolutely pushing hard to get the race win here today.
1, 4 down.
1 minute 22 and counting, 14 boats. Looks like it's going to be France instructed not to race, and American Magic stuck at the top of the course. So let's focus now on these boats, because Luna Rossa in the front of the fleet with American Magic, but now these other 3 boats can start the chase for more points. Remember, top 3 in each group after 8 fleet races go through to the semi-finals.
La virata, puoi salire un filino se vuoi. Il 30 per il comitato. Ali ancora un filino. Metti lei now. Ali un filino, Gigi. Scende pressione a destra. Ali un filino. Eccoli il deck, stand by. 3, 2, 1, board down.
40 seconds to go. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli heading back to the line. Final approach.
I love a mix of half English, half Italian on board. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. Great comms.
British and Swiss on port.
Inside the last 10 seconds, we are almost to go. Race 3 of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup is on.
Big band of breeze coming down through the middle of the line there, so
punching out, it was New Zealand, great start. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli 10 metres back.
Big left-hand shift there, Shirley, by the look of things, so got an early advantage there for the Kiwis. They should be able to tack and cross. The Italians there tacking away. Big left-hand shift there, so the Italians on a really nice angle through the middle of the course there.
Crazy breeze today. We can see it from this aerial shot, just puffs dropping from above.
Really, really shifty and puffy, so an eyes out of the boat day, and absolutely perfect conditions here. Emirates Team New Zealand there sailing through that puff and right over to that left-hand side. I've got the Italians there making a really big gain by tacking early and just going around the fan of that breeze coming down through the middle. So big gains. You see the New Zealanders coming back through there, probably 10 or 15 degrees lower angle than what the Italians were. So really nice job there, Italy tacking early and taking advantage of that shift and puff. British, Shirley crossing with the Kiwis here. Really close cross coming up here.
British right of way Yacht.
Okay, start thinking about it. Getting lighter and lighter as we go this way.
Just crossing there, so the Swiss also not far behind the Kiwis, so big gain to Luna Rossa. Prada Pirelli taking that early shift, so they'll be hoping to get across and consolidate their lead if they can.
They just did a really slow tack down to sort of 14 knots.
Yeah, got stuck in a couple of swells there, so
it looks particularly hard, doesn't it, on starboard?
Really struggling to try and get over that swell. Really hung up on that one, so interesting conditions.
15 degrees left right now.
Let's quickly go on board the chase boat with Pete Lester. Italians making a strong start again. Read it well, Pete. Now struggling somewhat.
Yeah, good start by the Italians. And I like where GBR have gone. They've gone hard to the left now. They've just tagged. The next cross will be interesting, but with this rotation to the left, the boat in the left, which is GBR, will probably be, they'll benefit from that. But Italy have been really rock solid in terms of just working up the middle of the course. Over on the right-hand side, it just looks a bit quiet.
On the Swiss team coming off their foils, Shirley, but Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli there, just crossing ahead there. The British, and they're going to have to work hard to stay from getting sailed around here.
I'm not sure it's the day for aggressive defending like that. They managed to pull it off.
Really close battle here.
So it's a race to the top mark and race number 3 of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup.
Maybe it's fine now.
Oh, really close intersection there.
2, 1, anytime. Away.
Emirates Team New Zealand stay in the lead. They go around that right-hand mark, followed by Athena Pathways, Great Britain, and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. We have a race today. Penalty Italy.
This is the umpire. Penalty Italy relative GBR.
So the Italians there needing to clear that penalty, so deciding to jibe to wash that off. Big penalty there in these conditions.
3, 2, 1, forward.
Another look at that mark rounding.
Just too close there and not keeping clear to windward, so the Italians having to keep clear, not doing quite enough. Just see the electronic boundaries here, Shirley, and the British there coming up, and the Italians just not doing quite enough to keep clear, and the umpires spotting that they should have done more to actually keep clear, and the British there having to turn down to avoid, so penalty Italy.
I think the helmsman, Ugolini, was expecting the boat underneath to bear away.
Italians drive, they're not laying, so they'll have to follow. Go same mark as us.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 0.9 nautical miles and shifting the axis to 0.55.
Having a good start to day number 2 of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, and the battle between them. And oh, you can hear that they weren't happy with that. Against Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, and behind them there was a touchdown earlier by Athena Pathways, Great Britain.
Oh, an absolute shocking jibe by the Kiwis there, and they will pay the price for that. Down to under 20 knots, and the Italians 35 knots, just ripping down. So unlucky there for the Kiwis, but pressure now on the Italians to consolidate that. Really nice, good breeze coming down through the middle of the course here.
They have a problem with Italians here. Okay. Do you want me to stay high? Yeah, stay high. Okay. Have you done more?
Just getting really high on the foils there, the Kiwis, and spinning out, so.
So Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli take advantage of the touchdown by Emirates Team New Zealand and get back into the lead of this third race of Group A, the America's Cup teams. They will be followed through by Emirates Team New Zealand. Athena Pathways, Great Britain have got themselves sorted after that touchdown midway through the halfway point of this first downwind leg.
So just a couple of wobbles there from Emirates Team New Zealand towards the bottom of the course there, and coughed up a bit of distance to the Italians, so they need to really get the boat locked in here and sail some smart shifts.
So just be trying to get it, ripping it to this boundary.
In comes Athena Pathways, Great Britain. They're made good, and the Italians seem to be struggling out of their left-hand side as Athena Pathways, Great Britain. They complete leg 2 and head up for leg number 3 of 6 in race 3. The Lingy Red Bull Racing still to come through.
Beautiful mark rounding on the British Shirley.
Big left at the moment,
Yeah, huge shifts. We can hear the British talking about it. It's in the left-hand side.
Press Saraiti. We're clear at the intersection for 2 and in.
Every manoeuvre filled with trepidation.
Hold, let's go. Just past the Kiwis now.
Copy. Middle pace up heavy.
By the boundary.
Middle press.
Nice tack on board, Emirates Team New Zealand, so they'll be happy with that.
Kiwis done well to get back into the game.
Really far left, so just, yeah. Yeah, just keep moving away till we get this. Yeah. Hey, the waves are quite tricky on this side now.
Let's get on the chase boat. Peter Lester, what do you make of this race so far? Almost halfway through.
The conditions are up and down, mainly pressure, and with that you get this continual rotation to the left. You can see the boats going across on starboard, just struggling to look powered up on port. they look a little bit more comfortable punching directly into the waves, but it's the starboard tack that, with the wind rotating to the left, if you get hooked up over on when they make that last ley line call, the New Zealanders are pretty advanced. They'll be looking for pressure on the water, and I think as I look out the window, there's a little bit more pressure building just on the bow of the New Zealanders.
Federico Colonino there behind Marco Gradoni. So the trimmer there sitting behind the helmsman, actually trimming the jib and the mainsail there and all the settings. So you can see on board there the screens and how much wheel work there is in these conditions.
It's pretty cozy in there.
Yeah, you got to be good mates, that's for sure. Yeah, if your helmsman's not doing a good job, you can click him over the back of the ears pretty easily there. Oh, beautiful tack. What they're telling us, a lot of gear changes here with the sail, so big job for the trimmers on both sides of the boat. In these wavy conditions and puffy and shiftiness, they'll be going from almost max power to max D power, so using the full range of what the sails can provide in these conditions.
Little position change behind them. Athena Pathways Great Britain go into position 2. And Emirates Team New Zealand position 3 is Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli approaches the halfway mark in race 3. The most impressive thing is them being able to get out of trouble. It happened yesterday, they got out of trouble quickly. They've done it again today, and they will lead this 4-boat fleet around the top gate to complete the halfway mark in race 3 of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup.
39 knot bear away on board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, sailing the boat beautifully. The Italian boys.
Two board in, yeah, 2 board in, safe, bear away, not taking any risks.
That shift is right, hey?
Got a close cross between the British and the Kiwis there. The British just safely across and take the right turn.
So clean cross. Athena Pathways Great Britain still in position 2 ahead of Emirates Team New Zealand as they go around the mark. Late tack by Emirates Team New Zealand. They will follow them around. And still to come through that gate is Alingi Red Bull Racing.
Bad wave here. Nice. We're still in this, guys. Hey, Athena is slow up ahead, so pressure-wise, how's it look your way, Seb? 9. I think just going to keep it fast, Seb. Okay, boundary 30. Hey, we're in a lefty. I think we want to lead
board, Emirates Team New Zealand.
If we just get our own timing here, lock it in. You guys are at a good angle right now. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, really nice pressure here. So as far as you can in the boundary. Yeah, just slow it down here. Talk to me. Yeah, happy there. How far, Leo? 10 seconds, mate. Happy anytime. 2, 1, or down. Yeah.
Fantastic pictures there.
Real light out of this, Oski. Yeah.
And you see the big leeway skid there of the Kiwis, just the foils sliding across the surface there. Good job to control that slide.
Facing it up here. Okay,
and the British,
left side total now, okay?
big gain there through the middle of the course. So Kiwis a couple of slides there, and the British really locked in, and some big gains there. But the Italian team of Luna Rossa have just been on the stopper the whole way down, sailing beautifully, Shirley.
None of the other teams have been able to match the boat handling, have they, of this unit. It has been so impressive to watch. Very cool comms, also. Not a hint of stress on board.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Right now, they are the darling of this AC40 America's Cup fleet, and they will lead them around to finish leg number 4. Only 2 to go for the young Italians. And they're showing a clean pair of heels.
Good pressure here.
Okay, boundary 35.
Really nice balance of steering and trimming and high ride height on the Italians versus some of the other teams. So really nice dance on the wheel there to actually catch those mini slides right on the edge of grip. And doing a great job on board with the British here at the moment.
Massive puff of wind in the top left-hand corner. The Italians really protecting that side.
You can see there the black part of the foil, which is sort of towards the bottom of the foil arm on the main foil, and the Italians just doing a slightly better job of just keeping that main foil arm out of the water, which is a lot of drag. So the higher you can fly, the faster you go, as long as you've got the grip.
I think the Parkway's great from the defender of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. Good downwind leg for them, and they go run, but it's still a minute and 1 second behind. UniCredit Prada Pirelli. We should see coming to shot now. Emirates Team New Zealand. They will follow them around the same mark. 2 to go. The chase for them is on. Remember, at the one stage they were in front of Athena Pathways, Great Britain. Let's go on the water. Peter Lesser. Boy, interesting old day today. It looks like UniCredit are comfortable at this point. Never say never.
They look a step ahead of the others, to be blunt, in this changeable stuff, and they're working the shifts. I think the other teams are just a little bit out of phase, but UniCredit Prada Pirelli just doing a superb job. The race is certainly all on for second and third. The GBR have done a really good job of just controlling the New Zealanders at this stage, but it's pretty close between second and third.
Yeah, I agree with Peter. The Italian team dancing their own dance, haven't they? They've sailed beautifully up this beat, and look at the extension.
I think Red Bull Racing aren't out of this. Remember what we saw yesterday. They came home hot in race number 2, so they will still have that belief that they can maybe get into one of those podium positions, but they are around and up on leg 4.
Nice smooth mark rounding there by the Swiss team. A little bit of work to do to get back in touch with the podium, but not out of the hunt.
Watch the heel. Yeah. Nice, gotta come down on this way. Okay, not over.
Sailing the boat really smoothly. UniCredit Prada Pirelli. Really good sail control and heel control. These conditions, locking in the heel or the sideways roll of the boat, really, really key for maximum performance. So you can see how locked in the boat is sideways, not rolling around, and that's the job of the sail trimmers to do that well, make the job of the helmsman all that much easier. Beautiful lay line there for a right turn.
Breeze a little lighter now in general. Puffs aren't as strong.
Yeah, keep it fast after the better way, boys.
Yep.
Prada Pirelli suggesting things might be getting a little bit lighter, but they are comfortable at this point. Completing leg number 5. Next one downwind is the homebound leg for UniCredit Prada Pirelli.
Gianluigi Ugolini on the starboard side, and Rocco Falcone.
Stand by jibe. Put pressure here. 3, 2, 1, go down.
Taking over trim now from Federico Colonino and Marco Gardoni. So handing over steering now, and trim taken over. And now the new leeward side becomes the tactical experts, trying to get the boat down the course in good shape.
It's pretty tidy, isn't it?
Yes, I think the Italians just do a really good job of being able to have a wobble and get straight back and locked in again. And I think that's where they're making a little advantage over their opponents. They can deal with those little wobbles and get locked in again very quickly.
Nice motivation for the senior team later on today when they go into their semi-final.
Quite a wide one.
Athena Pathways of Great Britain. For one last time, and their 6th and final leg.
Kiwis really taking a wide, fast entrance back there, possibly a little overlaid. Emirates Team New Zealand. British there.
You wanted to get away from
nice
this side, just pick the best spot.
bear away.
And the New Zealanders following fast. They would really love to try and pip the British. There's been a little bit of, in those first 2 legs at least, up and down between the two of them. Points matter, remember, points matter in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. So they chase the British.
Ross is playing the right side, looking upwind now.
He twisted there on the jib of Emirates Team New Zealand, just not using all the horsepower available there in the top half of the jib. So
15 to boundary. I think we can go all the way. Nice pressure filling in on the inside here.
it'll be a little out of balance.
Right on the boundary. Yeah, to go. It's a nice puff here. Right, forward down.
Luna Rossa, one more manoeuvre here. They will be taking full points.
Keep it fast.
Oh, a little skip there, pushing the right height hard. Need to rebuild and get that manoeuvre in, so really pushing the right height hard and just punching through the back of the wave there. But got a big enough lead that they can get away with a couple of wobbles, so they just need to pull this last jibe off.
They do so well at limiting the damage.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. They're about to notch up win number 2 in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup and bag the full 10 points. It has been smooth, it has been controlled, it has been calm. They are setting the benchmark, and they get the win in race 3 of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. So you're enjoying racing from Group A, which is the America's Cup fleet in this UniCredit Youth America's Cup. 3 races down. Stephen McIver, Shirley Robertson, double Olympic gold medalist in the chair at the moment. Looking forward to a day of racing in the Louis Vuitton Cup. Last day of the semi-finals. Who meets Britannia in the Louis Vuitton Cup final? The noticeable thing after seeing 3 races, Shirley, is the improvement, the constant improvement as they get used to the AC40s.
They're nothing if they're not quick learners. It has been impressive to watch. And for many of them, they spent way more hours in the simulator than they have in the real thing. And so quickly, though, they've developed the skills. And what did look a little bit loose at the beginning, we've seen with every outing getting more and more refined.
And if you think of the opening race too, they were just absolutely thrown into it with the sea state that some would call sloppy. I'd just call it rough, but I'm not a sailor as such. But the way they handled it was absolutely magnificent here in Barcelona. Germany is a nation with a ridiculous amount of sailing talent. They were last back in the America's Cup in 2007 in Valencia. Now, the crew that made the cut here for the UniCredit Cup are without doubt doing the most of this opportunity, and it could change the course of their career.
It's incredible to be part of the America's Cup. It has always been a dream since I've been a little child to be part of that, and now to have the chance to represent my country and be in a team for Germany. It's incredible, and I'm very grateful that I have this opportunity.
To perform here well is a great opportunity to give back to the people at home. I mean, my parents and whole family and friends, they're all supportive and helping me a lot out. And yeah, to say thank you, a good performance would be great.
Okay, Borden Leeward coming. And then up big time.
I mean, the AC40 is a great boat. It's super fast, way faster than everything we sailed. That we can throw it around the corners like hell, especially if both boards are down. It's just going around the corner super quick, and yeah, this makes it super exciting, I think.
We can reach over 45 knots, and yeah, it's incredible how the feeling is on the boat, and I'm very excited to be racing this boat in front of Barcelona.
59 Cat feels amazing at the moment. It was super fast.
Transition from the Ilka 7 to the AC40 is quite big, because you go from a very slow boat to a very fast boat, from a boat which is sailed by 1 person to a boat which is sailed by 4. I feel like it's a very good opportunity to evolve as a sailor, but also work in a team and be a good teammate.
What is typical for our team is that we all are super calm on the boat. In stressful situations, this will help a lot. We've just basically spent a lot of time together, trying to put ourselves in different kind of stressful situations. If it's in the simulator or on the J70 doing some match race drills, that's how we try to get along in the communication and get better and better every day. I'm really looking up to Jochen Schümann as a two-time America's Cup winner with Alinghi back in the days. He's a big role model to all of us, and we are super lucky that he's helping us in the team.
Paul Farin is our team leader. He started this whole campaign with Mark Pickle, and yeah, he's done a great job leading us into the right direction, and is also the other helmsman. So yeah, very reliable. Very experienced in foiling boats with a lot of titles in the Moth and in the Wasp. Sailed 49er before, so hugely experienced in fast boats. Yeah, I'm very grateful that I can trust him and have a strong helmsman by my side.
Then my co-trimmer on the other side is Jesse Lindstedt, sailing catamarans and Moth. He's just a fast sailor. He can get everything out the boat.
And also in team communication, he's a very detailed guy and expert in optimizing all the different parameters. Tom Heinrich, he sailed 49er for the last years. A very calm guy, very relaxed in high pressure moments. He's performing, very reliable guy.
What makes my position special in the boat is, I think, my Olympic campaigning in the 49er. Yeah, you learn so much, and this is the point where I can bring a lot into this campaign and try to do my job super good, but still have the big overview over what's happening in our campaign. Then we have Maru Scheel, and she's also coming from the 49er FX, so knows the boat handling pretty well.
Also very fun and friendly to get around. Always open-minded and has good ideas on how we can optimize our performance.
To win the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, it definitely takes a lot. Overview of the race course, boat handling, speed, of course, and yeah, then good racing to get along next to the other 5 boats on the start line. Going to be super exciting. Lots going on the racetrack, and yeah, to get the overview of this is going to be the most important thing, I think.
Team Germany, another example of the exceptional amount of talent that's on display here in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. Yo-Yo Team Dutch Sail have assembled an exceptional squad, skillfully juggling their Olympic campaigns while chasing the dream of America's Cup glory. Every moment counts as they aim to leave a lasting impression on the senior America's Cup teams.
The UniCredit Youth America's Cup is special for me. First of all, because it's the first chance to be racing in these epic boats, the AC40s. And for our team, because it's the first time a Dutch team is racing in any America's Cup event. The AC40, it's a 40-foot yacht, but it's not your average 40-foot yacht. It's a 40-foot flying yacht with huge hydrofoils under it. Everything is powered by electronics, by buttons. You've got a big steering wheel, 2 helms, 2 trimmers, and it goes pretty fast. And we're doing it against the best youth sailors from around the world.
I hope to just gain some experience in the America's Cup scene, and hopefully we can take that to the next step sometime.
Around a year ago, the final select, or the big selection, was made for our team. From then on, we had a full-time group who were in the sim 5 days a week, just making a lot of hours, and we had the Olympians who were preparing for the Olympics. So I feel like we got a very all-round base. We did a lot of hours together. We get a very strong connection within the team.
I'm the skipper on board, so asks for quite a wide skill set.
Bart Lambrix, 3-time 49er world champion, amazing sailor. He got his own way of doing things. He can look at everything with a different perspective, and I feel it really helps us with figuring out how to sail this new boat and how to race this new boat.
During an event like this, with these boats going these speeds, it's incredibly hard to stay composed and calm. Yeah, with my 49 experience, I've got some skills in that, and hopefully we'll deal with this pressure situation as well.
So I'm the port helm on board, and what I bring into the team is, I think, some structure. I'm quite perfectionistic. I feel that's something I bring to the team. Then we got Alexander Molyakov. He's a trimmer. He's a tough guy. He doesn't give in so easy, and he really loves his yachting. Elliot Savalon, also a trimmer. He's very precise. I mean, when he's on the trim tabs, he's 100% perfect. And then we got Bjarne Bauer. He's a helm on the Nacra 17, and he's a trimmer on board our boat. He got a lot of experience in trimming, foiling boats. He's been at the Olympics. He's very young, and it's nice to have his outside perspective after the games about how to sail these foiling crafts. Winning the Youth America's Cup, it would mean the world, and I think it could inspire Dutch sailing.
It would mean a lot to win here, to be honest. It's a big dream for me to be a part of the America's Cup, and this is definitely a step into that direction, so that would mean a lot to me.
Yo-Yo Team Dutch Sail, keep your eyes on them, Shirley.
Yeah, Bart Lambrook's 3 times 49er skiff world champion. I mean, a real talent. Actually, all 4 of them. And I particularly like their word, perfectionistic. I think we might embrace that. We know exactly what they were meaning, and that's exactly what they're going to have to be to perform here.
Perfectionistic. Let's just add that to the new America's Cup dictionary, shall we? Sagrada Familia. It's like a pot of honey for tourists. It is a big, but you got to see it to believe it. It's unbelievable here in Barcelona. This Youth Cup is bringing them all out. The Swedish outfit is powered by cutting-edge technology, backed by a stellar support crew. High expectations surround this ambitious Swedish squad.
Being here in Barcelona, having Artemis Technologies behind us, it's huge. I was a small kid a few years ago seeing the big cups when Artemis was in it, and now I'm sitting here being a part of it.
We've had a long year since we started about a year and a half ago, working together and training in the moth and wasps and a lot in the simulator. And now it's pretty cool how it's just been narrowing down throughout the time in the team and just the intensity of the whole group.
I think Artemis Technologies behind us, it means everything. Like their experience from cups before, but also like the people in the company and their knowledge.
In Belfast, I have the simulator, which it's a big platform, which is like raised above the ground, and it kind of moves around. You kind of feel all the forces, and it's very responsive to everything that you're doing on the boat.
I think Artemis does it very well. They did the 2 cups. We started foiling and taking all those years of development to actually do something bigger than just for the sport. It's something we're really proud of, and connect like sport and sailing and development in that area to actually do something good for the planet as well. It's huge.
So I'm the port trimmer on the boat, and in front of me I have Ludwig Lindqvist, who has a really long background in the laser class. He has an incredible talent, I think, from the racing side, which he can really bring to the team. Just racing in such a big fleet for Ludde, I think that really helps in this style of racing as well.
And then behind Ludde, on the port side, trimming on port, is Hugo Christensen, who's been, also started in dinghy and done a few Olympic campaigns, and lately been sailing a lot of moth.
And then on the other side we have Rasmus and Oscar Engström, who have sailed together for a lot of years in the M32, which I think helps since they know each other a lot. And I think we're all 4 quite different, which complements us quite well. I'm a bit more maybe stable in my mood, and the others maybe get a bit more intense when stuff is going on, which I think quite helps in the racing. So it's a good team. The America's Cup is something I've been following for probably 12 years since I started sailing, and something I've always wanted to become part of. And
being where pretty much every sailor is at the moment in Barcelona, and competing against the best in our age, you couldn't dream about anything else.
Yes, the Swedish youth team here at the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. I wonder if that's a signal, surely, that we see Sweden back in the big game with the 75s.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, they were such a great addition to the Cup. You know, with Ian Percy, Nathan Outridge, obviously behind them, Torben Tornquist. So hopefully he's sort of dipping his toe back in. This is quite an ambitious program. They are really bringing foiling to youth throughout Sweden and really just trying to build that legacy. So it's exciting to see definitely the best resourced and most practiced of all the invited teams.
So one more race to bring you before we start thinking about the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals, the final day. It's Fleet Race 4 in the Group A, the America's Cup teams.
Two races are never the same here in Barcelona, are they? And there is massive holes in this racetrack. Proper snakes and ladders today.
On board and we're unable to. We have real issues with American Magic.
Race committee copies.
So they're saying they're unable to sail. That is a hammer blow, absolute hammer blow to American Magic on the back of their classy performances yesterday.
Yeah, we can see the frustration and disappointment.
And then, of course, my apologies, that was the French as well. They are in a similar position. We haven't had confirmation whether they are racing or not, but it appears we may be back to a four-boat fleet again.
Yeah, absolutely.
You couldn't write this script, could you?
Absolutely heartbreaking for the French team, Foreign Express, L'Oreal Racing, and just really hoping to see them out on the racetrack. They don't deserve the luck that they've had if they cannot race in this race. That's not fair. They've put a big effort in and hope to see them out racing again soon. Here with 1 minute 25 to go. These teams will be lining up now to put themselves to get the whole shot for this race, surely.
Switzerland off the foils on the left-hand side. Need to get going.
To build quickly here with only a minute to go. The Swiss on the back foot, they've got to get foiling here and up to speed to put themselves in a good position. And also Prada Pirelli will be spinning the boat round here shortly, lining up for a nice time on distance start. Good speed. They'll be on their final approach now to the line. Kiwis will be coming down and they'll be looking to tack in underneath the Italian team.
They're coming low to push us low. Copy. Just round up around them.
British looking to do a port start and head out to the right-hand side of the course. Just thread the eye of the needle and make sure they don't infringe, as they will be the giveaway boat.
It's going to be a late tack for the Kiwis.
Inside the last ticket, 10 seconds. Here we go. It's race number 4, the America's Cup fleet and the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. It's a go.
It was like quite a strong one in 30.
Impressive recovery from Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They have to get a good result, and they pulled that star out of the bag.
That was a time run from off the foils for the Swiss team, but they've managed to get their nose clear and sailing really nicely.
Over the USA, we believe you've been instructed not to start and will be removed from this race.
Just take a moment to look at the speed and the height of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
They have hit the nitrous button, the Italians. Beautifully hooked up into a nice lane of pressure there. Will not be able to tack and cross Emirates Team New Zealand though. You see them caving into that left-hand pressure, and Emirates Team New Zealand just staying in that right-hand shift. They're going to get out of there while they can. Try and sail around the fan of that pressure and take the gain.
It's head on to chase 0 with Peter Lester. Peter, once again, the Italians starting beautifully.
Yeah, great start. What they do, they set up wide right and just then they've got perfect time on distance. They did that in the first race and they did in the second one, and that just gives them that good advantage off the line for the Italians. Right now, all the three boats coming across, heading over to the right. They look to be a good breeze, those three leading boats. There's a big black cloud to the south of us here, and I think that's creating a real unstable flow.
But we can just see the start of that black cloud that Peter's talking about, just to the right-hand side of the screen, and that has rotated the breeze to the right, and it's sucking the wind pressure, making this so hard for these sailors.
A little advantage there to Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, just gauging off Emirates Team New Zealand, so just that vertical separation, sailing about the same speed, but just gauging off, so increasing that distance closer to the wind and taking advantage, getting slightly closer to those top marks.
In 3, 2, 1, board down.
Lovely tack on board. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, the Kiwis up their exhaust pipe.
And the Italians, it feels like blink and don't miss it. It feels like race number 3, but it is Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli leading Emirates Team New Zealand at the top gate for the first time. This is race 4, UniCredit Youth America's Cup. They are the team to chase right now, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli.
Good angle down here. Let's check me there.
More importantly, encouraging signs for Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Up and going. They sit in position 3 at this point at the top gate. Followed closely by Athena Pathways, Great Britain. The Swiss need points. And in comes Athena Pathways, Great Britain.
British got a little bit more work to do in this race, Shirley. Quite get off that first part of the beat as well as they would have liked.
Yeah, they didn't look at phase really with what was going on. They're really
huge touchdown, sorry. Yeah.
battling their way around the course.
Yeah, very shifty conditions as you said, and they're going to have to really pull some tricks out of the box to get back into this race and challenge for the lead.
Nice battle at the front of this four-boat fleet, isn't it, between Luna Rossa and Emirates Team New Zealand.
Happy any time? Okay, board down 2, 1, board down.
Getting high, loose again. Kiwis. Last managing to save. A real big touchdown and slow down there, so right on the edge.
Their manoeuvre is not as smooth as they would like, and we can hear the frustration on board.
We talk a lot about the AC-75s making one minute mistake and it can cost them. It's greater here. It is huge a mistake.
The Kiwi team might be a little bit loose, but they have closed the gap on the leaders. We have a race.
Yeah, nothing in this race. One touchdown in this, and there'll be a lead change. So British having an absolute blinder of a downwind, hooked into some really nice shifts there and putting pressure on the leader. So British not out of this, sailing really well and closing the gap.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, Emirates Team New Zealand, they're all putting on a show today. Day 2 of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. The Italians around, followed closely by Emirates Team New Zealand. You can keep a track of how far they are behind. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see all the positions and the distance back to the leaders.
Big touchdown, Shirley, from the Italians around that mark, and Emirates Team New Zealand just closing the gauge. A huge moment there for Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. Really big vent there on the foils, getting too high, and we've got a real race on our hands now.
Italians still have control, heading to the left-hand boundary, but only just.
Okay, slow down. Nice pressure. And turning real flat spot here.
there on board Emirates Team New Zealand. That'll be costly for them. Little gains back to the Italians. But the British, Shirley, nice clean rounding, sailing over into some really good pressure on that right-hand side of the course. So don't be surprised to see them making some gains on the leaders.
Unload the window main if needed, eh?
Let's get it.
Just on this line. Okay, boys, good path, full speed, eh? We're leading. Passing a bit. Nice, no slower for me.
Cross coming.
Nice one, boys.
Two.
Big right.
Potentially close cross coming up here between Athena Pathway and Emirates Team New Zealand. So the British making some big gains. So what we saw there on the screen of that pressure coming down out of the right has given the British some huge gains, and they may actually be splitting the difference here. So they've gained a huge amount on this work and a massive gain against Emirates Team New Zealand. And then the Swiss in number 4 watching it all happening. Rossa there just going, they've made a big gain. We're just going to consolidate where we are. We don't need to lead by 1 kilometre. We just need to lead by 1 boat length, and they're just shutting it down and staying in touch, consolidating their lead.
This going to chase Sarah Peter Lester. Loose racing by Emirates Team New Zealand, costing them dearly.
Yeah, and the right is so strong. Emirates Team New Zealand are now just taking a bit of that right leverage. You can see where they line up when they come back together. But we're in a period of change out here with the wind. Down south of us, that big black cloud is just moving off. But what it's doing is just dragging the wind around to the right. So anyone in the far right, if you want to do a bit of a Hail Mary, you can get a big benefit out here.
Emirates Team New Zealand going for the doctor. And Lunarossa Prada Pirelli just sailing nice and cleanly, not doing anything silly, just keeping in touch with the boats behind. And the British there sailing a couple of really nice shifts to get back into second position after being pretty deep after that first lap.
The British happy to do their own thing and split from the crowd. We've seen that really work for them on this leg. Very much in the game here.
We've read this story before already today. Lunarossa Prada Pirelli at the top gate, leading the fleet to complete the halfway point in race 4 of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, followed by Athena Pathways Great Britain. They'll be second around that mark at the top gate. Emirates Team New Zealand trying to find some gas to stay in touch with Athena Pathways Great Britain, who get around and head home on, or head down on the home 4th leg.
Oh, and Emirates Team New Zealand, just see the shift that they've sailed into, not even laying that right turn. So really, really difficult there to get back in this, and the British and Lunarossa just doing a really nice job of sailing good numbers and good angles. So a bad jibe there by Athena Pathway Great Britain. They need to rebuild quickly there.
How quickly it changes in this America's Cup.
Shirley just having a look here at possibly what happened on the bridge. Oh, real bad wave. They could have picked their place to jibe there, low on the foils, putting the boat straight to the crest of that wave. So
they've recovered well, though. They've recovered well, and that's the most important thing. As Lingy Red Bull Racing get around and complete 3 legs of 6.
Watch out, big wave here. And we're making huge gains here. Copy. Let's look on the way.
Always nice to hear.
Yeah, good comms.
Out here.
Lunarossa and the British there needing to jibe as they're heading into that electronic boundary. Course limits. and that's how you want to jibe an AC40 in waves.
Great timing. They picked their moment, didn't they? But also great trimming. I mean, the boat looked fully powered up. They had all they need.
A beautiful coast, nice hook up, straight back onto the power source again, which is the wind. Not much in this between the British and Emirates Team New Zealand, so that couple of wobbles we saw earlier from the British, Emirates Team New Zealand right back in it now for second place.
Bottom gate to complete leg number 4, 2 to go. At this point for Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, leaders of Group A, the Emirates Cup boats, and the UniCredit Youth America's Cup.
The British have another jibe. Kiwis.
Oh, they've had an absolute bazzer. Really do a big job here, get the boat rebuilt up to speed, so that'll be a huge loss for Emirates Team New Zealand.
Yeah, the British just surviving theirs.
Oh, 40 mid-jibe, that's an absolute moth classic, and fill up the kids' pool. And that's a good way to hit the brakes, which is not what you're wanting to do on the downwind leg.
But it opens up the door for Lingy Red Bull Racing as Inner Pathways Great Britain complete their 4th leg and head up for the second to last in this 4th race. So positional change yet again. Now it's Lingy Red Bull Racing sitting in 3rd position, and Emirates Team New Zealand in all sorts of bother.
You see there the little scupper, little flap underneath the hull there, that's a drain. So if you do fill the cockpit up with water, those drains open up and drain those cockpits out quickly. And as we're seeing today, a little bit of water getting into the cockpits, which is not what you're wanting to do, Shirley.
I see good pressure on the top right here.
Meanwhile, at the head of the fleet, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, Pete, making no mistakes.
They're in a class of their own. You know, the others are battling it out. The other team that impressed me are actually Athena Pathways from Great Britain. They, when they're back, when they get caught down in the pack, they just seem to be able to move their way through. And any time I look at a yacht race and see a team that's a bit deep, and if they can come back through the field, you've got to be impressed by that. So the two teams that are very steady and consistently steady are
Watts, but they are really down speed and have borne away and are heading back to the starting area. I'll let you know when we hear.
You look at the starboard cockpit there, Marco Gradoni just about to take over with Federico Colanino from Gianluigi Ugolini and Rocco Falcone. So transfer of control. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli in a commanding lead here.
Probably a righty coming in soon.
I think Red Bull Racing needs every point. They've been plagued with gear failure. They have to make this stick, and they've done well in the last 2 legs. They are right back in contention for second and have a real battle with GBR.
Swiss team really sailing well at the moment and getting the boat ripping nicely, so they've found their groove, and if you can sail the boats well, massive gains for doing a good job in trim and steering, so keep pushing. They'll possibly be up into second place.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli leading the fleet home. They will complete the 5th leg. Nothing's perfect in these conditions, but they are leading the fleet comfortably at this point. This would be a big amount of points for Lingy Red Bull Racing. They will potentially jump Emirates Team New Zealand the standings after this. We'll just confirm all of that as it comes to fruition. But it's Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. 1 leg to go.
Okay, 20 boys start thinking about it.
That's a good moment.
So the team under pressure now here for points just in this race. There's a thinner pathways. Great Britain. Can Alinghi Red Bull Racing get past them? This will be fun to watch.
That's your angle.
It's going to be a good battle. This last downwind, so the Swiss team having to just stay as close as they can to the British team and keep the pressure on, try and force an error. The Swiss team there not being able to lay, so a little left-hand shift there. Having to tack and take by turn.
A bit lower, again, clear in 3, 2, 1, clear. Big pressure here.
Red Bull Racing. One downwind leg to go.
And hold a second.
Huge motivation, though. Huge for them to get out there, get racing after what's been going on over the last 24 hours. So this will be a huge boost for the team. Remember, after this, 4 fleet races left in Group A.
Well, the eagle-eyed viewer will have spotted the Kiwi flag. They are up and running. Of course, they are in 4th spot, but so important that they finish this race. They collect as many points as they can. It's good to see.
Yeah, after that full ventilation, airborne jibe and crash down, the Kiwis had to do a full rebuild there and actually get the boat back and going again. So it took a huge loss relative to the fleet, but they'll be absolutely one of the points. But Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli
my wheel.
Having a couple of loose moments themselves there, and the Italians. Oh, nice save. Great trimming. A couple of really loose moments there, but beautifully controlled, right on the edge of capsize.
And this has been the feature in all the races we have seen. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, they face danger right in front of them. They go, no, it's okay, we can get out of this. And they will get out of it again and bank win number 3 in the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. Italy right now, and this fleet are the ones to beat. You can bet that Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli are the team to try and trumpet Group A of the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. Surely they're just quite simply fast.
Yeah, I've enjoyed watching it again. I mean, they're so fast, but we've only seen half the talent, and the next 3 days here in Barcelona are dedicated to the UniCredit Youth America's Cup. I can't wait to see it unfold.
Oh, the fans will turn up for that. They will also turn out a little bit later on today for what we're looking forward to in the Louis Vuitton Cup Series. But yeah, I mean, what we have seen so far, the full 4 fleet race, certainly hoping the young French team, they've had their struggles, that we want to see them out on the water, because we know, we've seen it for ourselves in practice racing, they can fly that little 40 really quick around the track.
Yeah, they came into this a standout team, and they've put their heart and soul into it. So I hope we'll get a chance to see all that unfold out on the bay here in Barcelona.
It is another beautiful day here in Barcelona, and that's, if you get the time, what you need to do. Just go and lie on the sand, dip your toes into the Mediterranean, and have a good time. I would rather be looking forward to racing coming up this afternoon. And this is what it's all about, the UniCredit Youth America's Cup, the trophy to be the cream of the cream, the top of the crop, so to speak. But you've got to go and win it against 11 other teams if you want to be there. So what's in store? Well, tomorrow we finally get to see Group B, the invited teams, Australia, Canada, Spain, Germany, the Netherlands, and Sweden. So much to look forward to here in Barcelona, and what we can look forward to a little bit later on today is potentially the final 2 races and the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-final series. We already know the challenger of record, Ineos Britannia, are through after they dispatched Alinghi Red Bull Racing yesterday. But now it's 4-3. Luna Rossa against American Magic. What will unfold? Stay with us at 2 o'clock local time. It's all on here from Barcelona.